All right, welcome back to the New Equity Network show. Michael Yorba, your host, and Jared Fabriello, co-host. All right, our producer loves to play that theme. I feel like John Wayne should be next to me as we're riding over the horizon with that music. All right, Jack Honor, founder, principal, shareholder, screenwriter, producer, StereoVision Entertainment Inc. All right, Jack, Jared's got a lot of questions. It was a huge buzz in here during the commercial break about distribution using your stock symbol again before we get going.
SVSN, Sam Victor, Sam Nancy.
Okay, using the public markets through stock, using Indiegogo, through crowdfunding processes, getting paid, the budget for the films. We've got a lot of questions, so pick any one of those, and I'm sure the listening audience would love to hear what you've got to say about those.
Well, can we go through a list of questions? I'll be happy to answer them.
All right.
I have one. I don't really have a Hollywood background, so I'm wondering, what is the budget for these movies? And I guess, why would somebody invest in Indiegogo when they could, or put money into the Indiegogo project when they could just invest directly into the company and potentially get a return down the road?
Well, the budgets for these two films, Three Dimensions Jerusalem, is $4.9 million. And the budget for Gonzo's 3DD is $2.94 million. And the reason I would suppose that someone would do the Indiegogo campaign for Three Dimensions of Jerusalem is twofold. First, to be part of sending a message that we feel the world needs to hear. And even though it's only our little movie, you never know, it might make a big noise. And the pledges are $50, and with the $50, you get a $100 retail purchase card with Walmart, and you get a chance to be in the movie. One of the pledgers will be selected at random to come to the shoot in Austin and be in the movie with dialogue and screen credits and get a walk down the red carpet at the premiere.
Okay, that's a good answer. So it's a multifaceted capital raise process where you actually can become interactive with the film rather than just a shareholder is what I'm getting.
Absolutely. The pledgers are all part of the film, and we there's a $250 pledge also, and those pledgers will get special thanks screen credits. And then there's a $10,000 pledge for the high rollers, and they will get executive producer screen credits, and they will be brought to the premiere and stay at a 4-star hotel at the film's expense.
How long do you expect it to take to produce these two films once you get funded?
Well, with the Three Dimensions of Jerusalem, if we had the money today, we'd have the film produced in about 90 to 120 days. Now, with Gonzo's, that's essentially, again, our partner is the creator and executive producer of Baywatch. Over 10 years, they produced 325 episodes of Baywatch and never went over budget or behind schedule. And Gonzo's is essentially a 90-minute episode of Baywatch in 3D. Big sky, big quality union production, boat chases, motorcycle chases, extreme sports, kids jumping bikes and skateboards and so forth. So that movie it'll take us about 3 weeks in principal photography. So again, if we had the money for that today, we could have the film in the can in 90 days.
Okay, all right. The distribution process, that's got to be an absolute nightmare unless you've already got all your connections in place.
Well, we have great relationships there. One of our top senior advisors under contract is Charlie Weber. Charlie was the CEO of Lucasfilm, and during his tenure, he took Lucasfilm from 4 employees to 400. So he's very active in Hollywood for us, and he has the credibility with all the all the majors, and we expect to do our own P&A. We have P&A funds that are interested in funding 500 to 1,500 theaters. When you have these smaller budgets, you don't need a 5,000 theater release to make money. So, for instance, with Gonzo's, we may break it in 500 theaters, and depending on how it does, it could roll out ultimately into 1,500 theaters. So we're working with people that are providing 1,500 theaters for Three Dimensions of Jerusalem outside the studio, because, again, if you work with the studio, you never get paid.
What kind of profit would you potentially make if you do, end up with a solid rollout on some of these projects?
Well, again, we feel like Gonzo's 3DD is the cash cow of our slate. We have 5 films on the slate, but these are our 2 flagship projects. Well, with Gonzo's, a good comparison, I guess, would be Porky's. It's Gonzo's is kind of a, skateboarders, grunge rock kids kind of movie. And Porky's 20 years ago did $125 million. Well, the producer's cut is about a third. So we're selling half the movie for the budget. So if someone were to put up the $2.94 million, if we were to be able to equal what Porky's did 20 years ago, that investor, our cut would be about $40 million. That investor of $2.95 million could return $20 million on their investment. And remember, the money starts coming in before the movie's made. The product integration dollars have to be paid before the movie's made, so those products can be included. And we're looking at several $1 million in product integration, so the investor is going to recover a bunch of his money before the movie's even made. Also, with foreign distribution contracts, we'll be getting some of that money, and the investor gets his cut starting in $1. So as the money comes in, we've formed a standalone LLC for each company, managed by a CPA. Each one has its own single-purpose bank account, which the investors are going to be able to observe in real time. And so they'll start getting paid before the movie's even made. Once the investment's in there, actually, if someone were to invest $2.94 million, we may never even use that money. We could very likely generate that much money before the movie's made through product integration and foreign sales advances. Again, Heineken's paid $45 million last year for James Bond to hold a Heineken, and some of the stars we're having in this movie because of Michael Burke creating Baywatch are world famous, so we can get some big sponsor dollars out of that one.
Now, you'd mentioned
movie. I'm sorry.
You'd mentioned Michael Burke and his connections with blockbuster names. Do you have any attached to either one of the films?
Well, we don't have any names to put out right now. We're going to keep that under our hat for the time being. But we'll have some news coming out here very soon on the stars that are going to be attached to the movies. Again, with these smaller budgets, you can't pay the people the money that it takes to hire them for the big budget movies pay.
Right.
So most of these will be relationships that where when the movie's funded, they'll sign on to come in and be a part of the movie.
Okay, so you've got inroads in there. It's not appropriate to let that cat out of the bag on those type of names at this stage of the game, is what I'm hearing.
Right. Soon we'll be starting to put some of that information out about who's going to be the media lightning rod that's going to attract the attention for the sponsors to get on board.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm glad. We've got about a minute left in the interview, and I'm glad we're able to have this kind of content on the show because it's really cutting edge. It's ahead of the game. Most people, you'd never hear this on some of the major networks. These kind of conversations, right, Jack?
Of course not. Of course, that's what we're using Resonate for, to use the general solicitation of accredited investors. And it won 9 Emmys. It created brands like the E for Entertainment Tonight. And we intend to use that company not just to fund our own project, but other projects as well as we continue to expand our database of accredited investors.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to close for now, but Jack, please, stock symbol, and then I'll give out the web address.
Yeah. The stock symbol, again, is SVSN, Sam Victor, Sam Nancy.
Okay, and then they can also find your movie, Three Dimensions of Jerusalem, on Indiegogo campaign?
If they look up faith-based feature, Three Dimensions of Jerusalem on Indiegogo. They'll find the outline and the overview of the project and all the people that are attached already. And these people are all under contract.
All right. I wish you the best with the films. I can't wait to be that. Maybe you never know. Maybe you can find us a cameo in there for promoting your film.
Well, we're happy to help out people helping out us.
All right, Jack. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Good day.
You too. Jack Honor, founder, principal, shareholder, screenwriter, and producer, StereoVision.com. Thanks for listening to the New Equity Network show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. We've also got Jared Fabriello, our co-host. If you have a great project you think you need to have on our show, let us know. NENS.biz. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.